Today might be the most simple but most helpful video I've ever made because I'm going to give you 3 things to do if you have 0 sales in your Etsy shop. Now, if you feel like you are stuck in Etsy jail and you cannot get a sale, you need to do these 3 things. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Dylan Jaris. I'm an Etsy seller of 8 years. I've made over $1 million in profits on the platform, and my entire background is corporate e-commerce. And we take those principles, apply them to Etsy, and that is why we see very consistent results. I also sell on Amazon and Shopify. In our company of about 33 people, we teach Etsy sellers how to scale their businesses with our one-on-one unlimited private coaching. Before I give you these 3 things, I want you first to comment below trying this. Just write trying this if you're committed to trying these 3 steps. Now, whether you have 0 sales or a couple sales, I recommend you do these 3 things because they will get you unstuck. The first step is that you have to get unbiased opinions from your potential customers about your product. A lot of people create an Etsy shop and they completely skip that market research or that customer research part. But market research is really important, especially with online selling. It's kind of automatically built into brick and mortar or market situations because you're seeing people in person and you're watching which products they pick up, which colors they gravitate towards. Do they turn it around? Do they look at the price and raise their eyebrows, right? But online, especially on Etsy, it takes a concerted effort to really establish product market fit. Basically, before you spend months on optimizations, we need to put in some effort to make sure that people even like your product to begin with. And if they don't like your product, then we need to fix that first. Because it won't matter what your SEO is or what your pricing strategy is or what your social media strategy is if they don't even like your product. So how do we get those unbiased opinions? We don't send your listings to your friends and family and ask what they like. They're going to say, looks great, sweetie. When can I buy one? We need to go to Facebook for this. Now you could do Instagram, but you really should have a following on Instagram of unbiased followers, which you most likely do not have unless you're an established brand. And if you have no sales, you likely are not. So we want to go to Facebook groups that your customers are in, and we are going to put up polls. Facebook users love sharing opinions. So what you're going to do is go to your shop and pick 2 products, 2 listings that are somewhat similar. And you're going to ask those Facebook group members if they like product A or product B better. And listen, if they don't like either of them, they will tell you. And oftentimes they will tell you why they like A or B better, which is such valuable customer feedback. So I recommend doing this on every single listing in your shop. Let's say you have 20 listings. Okay, go into 10 different Facebook groups and take 2 of your products into each group and ask for opinions or comparison of those products. One of the easiest categories to do this in, by the way, is home decor or moms groups. You'll get a lot of thoughts. Okay, so let's say that this is your shop and you have 2 sales and you're like, why aren't things selling? So what we're going to do is actually take 1 photo in your shop, screenshots of these actual photos here. So we're going to go to Facebook, and what I'm going to do is go to travel group. So I'm going to find some public groups. I'm going to upload the photos. What do you guys like better? The wall art or the hat with this image? I miss Paris so much. Okay, so this is a great example. What do you like better, A or B? You can even put a little overlay on there that says A or B, but people will give you their advice. Let's say these are Halloween buckets. Let's say we have no sales on it. So let's say the bags or the little pumpkins. I'm gonna take screenshots of both, and I'm gonna go to a mom's group. 50,000, 10 posts a day. Perfect. What do you like better for your kids' Halloween buckets? And I'm going to actually state the difference. Otherwise, they'll try to make up their own words. The pumpkin shape or the regular bag. Now, the key here is taking that feedback and actually improving your product. One of our core values in our company is actually to consistently improve. And you have to do this rapidly and iterate rapidly, especially when you have no sales. So if you think, oh, I just need to wait 6 months for my shop to get a sale, we are so off base, because oftentimes what you're missing is product market fit. And we need that customer feedback in order to iterate quickly. Force the customer feedback early by putting up up these polls in Facebook groups. All right, the second thing to get sales. In order to get sales quickly, you have to simplify your listings and remove options. This means removing any confusing or complicated variations or decisions from the listing. The goal is to make your listing an easy purchase decision. Maybe that means you have size and color and maybe no more than 4 colors. But we want to eliminate complex font choices. And by this, I don't mean a lot of font choices. I mean font choices that are very similar to each other. Honestly, having 4 fonts that are similar, it's just as bad as offering someone 20 unique fonts. And sometimes we start with so many options because we want to give the customer choices. And we think if we have more options, we'll make more money. But that is not the way to get traction. You want to start with simplicity and then complicate the listing and add options and complexity as you've established yourself as a market leader. Think of it this way. Curate the options for them and make sure the options and choices are different enough so that they're not at all competing with each other. Here's an example of something that is overcomplicated. Now we have a primary color with the size. Then we have if we want the butterfly decals or not, which yes, add to my order. Well, thanks. This should probably say no thanks. It's a yes or a yes, right? And then it says write the name and your favorite font number, which, oh my goodness, these are incredibly similar. They would have such a better conversion rate if they went down to 4 options: name, font number, and then the color of the butterfly. These are some very similar options here. Yellow or sunny, blush, rose, and pink, very, very similar, right? They could probably cut the number of color options in half. Oh my goodness. And then we move into more color options. So not only do we have a million options here, but now we are trying to compare color options that are on 2 separate pages. I would probably have 2 font options, your size options, and butterflies, yes or no. That would have removed so much confusion in this order process. Really strip down the options to the bare minimum. And then as you get traction, as you become a market leader, and as you get custom requests within that listing, then add upsells within the listing, add additional variations and choices and colors and sizes. Do not give a customer 20 decisions to make at once because they will not want to stay. That is not something that I have ever heard people talking about on YouTube. But you've got to get into the psychology of your buyer. All right, lastly, the third tip to get traction when you have no sales, it is to give it away. And it's probably going to ruffle some feathers. You know, people say, charge what you're worth, charge for your time. Yes, eventually. But right now, you have no sales. Your time is not worth anything. If you're putting time into Etsy and you're not making any money, you're making $0 per hour. What is the alternative? We have got to give it away short term so that you can get momentum long term. So stop pricing your items at a 40% margin just because you've heard that's what you're supposed to do. Instead, give it away for free. And instead of 6 sales in 6 months, look at maybe 6 sales in 6 days. And remember the opportunity cost of the time between now and when you'll get sales. For example, for someone making $50,000 a year, what is the opportunity cost of them not learning how to make $1 million per year? That cost is $950,000. So for Etsy, starting with this high margin because of the principle that you feel like your time or your art is worth something, that's going to cost you a lot of money long term because it's going to cost you thousands of dollars in lost sales and momentum that you could have gotten so much sooner. Not to mention, when you launch on Etsy, you want to make a big splash with your order velocity. And this is to establish bestseller badges and high ranking in search results. And if you slowly rise to the top, it will be much harder to overtake steep competition. So for example, this is a shop with no sales yet. We need to, number 1, establish product market fit by putting out the polls. Number 2, remove any complicated ordering processes and options. And then number 3, give it away for free. Give it away, break even on those initial sales. If you are going to try these things, comment below, I'm trying it, so that I know that you are going to be putting in the work and testing out these strategies. Now, if you would like to learn more about our unlimited one-on-one private coaching, you can just click on the link in the comments and schedule a free call with us where we will actually show you what that one-on-one private coaching looks like, and you can see all of our students and their financial results. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.
After I joined the program, I gained so much clarity. Dylan is a wealth of knowledge and she shares all of her secrets with you. That coaching aspect of it, you can't get that through reading or watching videos.